Sounding natural is such an important part of learning a new language, right? None of us want to be perceived as being contrived or sounding fake or anything like that. So obviously, the whole point of my channel is how to pronounce, how to stress, how to do all these things that of course are going to help you sound more natural in English. Maybe not immediately, maybe you're going to have a period where you feel a bit uncomfortable, like you're out of your comfort zone because it's something you're not used to. But guaranteed, if you keep practicing, you're gonna sound more and more and more natural. Your ears are gonna accept what you sound like and it'll all be good. However, I think another really, really important aspect to sounding natural in English, apart from pronunciation and stress, which are definitely crucial, is in fact the words that we're choosing to use. So, for example, if I was to meet someone and let's say it's an informal kind of gathering, like a friend brings over one of their friends to my party, I'd say, "Hey, it's great to meet you." It would sound much, much less natural if I was to say, "Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance," right? That's not typically how North Americans would speak in a social setting. So that's what today's video is going to be about, you guys. It's going to be about some expressions that are really commonly used by native speakers that are going to help you sound more natural. And for those that may not know, my name is Victoria and I post all about American English. So if you're interested in pronunciation and linking and all the topics that fall under the American accent umbrella, then please subscribe and hit that notification bell and YouTube will let you know when I post new content. So for these phrases, I'm gonna of course be telling you how to correctly pronounce the words, but I'll also be talking about stress and linking because I think those are very, very important components as well. So the first one we have from the get-go. From the get-go. So there's 4 words here, right? And so the first thing I want you to do is think kind of globally and tell me which word is receiving the most stress. From the get-go. It would be get, right? Next up, listen to my vowel sounds. From the get-go. From the get-go. I think that's really the only real interesting part of this expression. So the first vowel is an sound. So you can think about it as a schwa or think about it as a lax but either way, make sure you're not pronouncing it like a o. The second word, the, is definitely a schwa, from the. Get, the vowel, not typically a sound my clients have difficulty with. And then the final sound has to be that rounded, diphthongized o, from the get-go. From the get-go, I thought it would be a bad idea, and unfortunately, I was right. The other tiny thing in that expression, from the get-go, is the get being unreleased on that T. It would be much less natural sounding if I said from the get-go, from the get-go. That isn't something that you're gonna hear very often, if at all. So our next expression here, break a leg. Break a leg. So this we say to someone in a context in which it's bad luck to say good luck. So in usually the entertainment industries. So which word is the strongest? Break a leg. Break a leg. The leg, right? And listen to my linking. Break a leg. So the K of break is really going with that's how we're linking it. So we're not saying break a leg. I'm saying bray with that A vowel that moves. K and then leg. Break a leg. Next up, we have the 411. The 411. So like, that new employee, what's the 411 on him? So what's the scoop, right? What is the information that we need to know? So all abbreviations like ABC, or in this case, 411. The strongest syllable is almost always going to be the final one. And so 411, it's that final one that receives the strongest stress. The other thing that I want you to know, or is a complex R vowel, right? The 4, and then 1 1, 1 1. So both of those vowels are the vowel, as in up, the 411. Next up, we have hole in the wall, hole in the wall. So this refers to a place that may look really unimpressive, but it might be really great. So what's your favorite restaurant? Oh, it's this tiny hole in the wall, but the food is so authentic and it's amazing. We go there all the time. So hole in the wall. So for this one, let's talk about hole and in. So hole typically ends in a dark L, hole, hole. However, when we link, that dark L becomes light, and so we say holin, lin. And in, just like previously, is that lax I sound. Wall, this one's real tricky. So the goes into definitely a dark L if that's the end of our phrase, but make sure it's really a low back vowel. I really often hear for and dark L, all. So it's not a hole in the wall, it's a hole in the wall. And then the final thing, so I'm jumping all over the place, for the first word there, hole, make sure it is the O vowel. So it's not a pure O, it's not a hole, it's a O, a hole in the wall, a hole in the wall. Next up, we have to die for, to die for. So not literally, right? But that means it's unbelievable. Something is amazing. That new restaurant down the road is to die for. So when I said it just now, that restaurant is to die for. Listen to my T-O, right? I didn't say to die for, I said to. So I reduced T-O to a schwa. You don't have to do that, but it's because I put the main emphasis on the word die. So it fits that because die is the winner, the two reduces to t. To die for. To die for. Notice one more thing, F-O-R. That can really often actually reduce to for. Like this is for my friend. But in this case, we don't say to die for, to die for. We usually keep that as a real for, to die for in this expression. Next one we have, take with a grain of salt. Take with a grain of salt. So if you're taking something with a grain of salt, let's say someone insulted you and they said, oh, I think your new painting is too busy, no one will like it. And you're really taking it to heart and someone says to you, oh my goodness, take her opinions with a grain of salt. She always has something negative to say. So that means don't worry too much about it, right? So take it with a grain of salt. So a lot of linking going on here. So we have te, kut, so unreleased T, wi, then the next syllable, the, grain of salt. It's totally possible to drop the V on of, so you can say take it with a grain of salt for sure, but take it with a grain of salt. I said it again without the V. I was trying to put my V in. Take it with a grain of salt is absolutely acceptable, especially if we slow it down a tiny bit, which I obviously didn't do just there. What else do I want to tell you guys about this one? Take it with a grain of salt. Oh, the final T, again, on salt, I'm unreleasing it. Not necessary, but you don't, like if you release all your T's, you may sound hyper articulate. Our next one we have head over heels. Head over heels, meaning someone's totally crazy in love with someone else. So, oh my gosh, he just met her and he's already head over heels. So heels is our strongest word in this expression. Listen to head over. Listen to the D at the end of head. So what's happening to that D? Head over. It's becoming a flap, right? So I'm not saying head over, I'm saying head-o, head-o. So really, really quick, controlled D-like sound, alveolar flap. The O definitely has that O diphthongized quality. Head over heels, head over heels. Two things I want you to notice in heels. The first is the vowel E. It's tense. There's a diphthongized component, so it's not pure, it's moving. And the final thing is that on heels, I know it looks like it ends in the letter S, but in fact we voice that S so it sounds like a Z. Head over heels. Next up we have go time. It's go time. It's time to get things rolling, you know? So if there is a big project everyone has going on and, you know, everyone's kind of having a slow morning, someone might say, okay, team, it's go time. We need to get to work. So in go time, because it's more of a noun phrase, it's not a phrasal verb, the stronger word is go. And we have to finish that O vowel as O. And then the vowel in time, time, again, has movement. So overall, we'll hear go time, go time. So a lot of movement in both of those vowels, even though it's only 2 syllables. Next up, get a kick out of. Get a kick out of. So you might get a kick out of something if you find it amusing or entertaining or fun. So I get a kick out of watching your toddler play on his bike or something cute and fun. So get a kick out of, the strongest word is what? Kick, kick. Let's listen to get a. When I link those, what's happening? Get a, get a. So that T becomes an alveolar flap like we just saw in the previous example. And then listen to the end. Get a kick out of. You could also drop that V, get a kick out of that, outa. But either way is absolutely fine as long as the word of is being reduced. It's not being stressed because kick is getting stressed. So next up we have yano. Yano. So it sounds like someone is saying yes followed by no, and that is what it is. But this is more of an expression that has a bit of sass to it. So I would not recommend saying this in a work setting or someone you're not really close with because it could definitely be taken the wrong way. You might just look like you're being a bit rude, even if that's not your intention. So this yano would be said like among friends or something like that, kind of like in a joking, kind of sassy way to be like, pretty much say absolutely not. So if your friend said to you, hey, do you want to come for a jog with me tomorrow morning at 5 in the morning? You might say, yano, yano. So the sounds in yano, ya, a is a vowel, it's tense, ya. And then no is o. So again, there's some movement to that o vowel, yano. Our next one here is our last one. It's your other left. Your other left. So this, again, would be more in like a joking, casual context for sure. It could be seen as a little bit, I won't say snarky, but as a little bit rude in the wrong setting. So again, I absolutely wouldn't recommend saying this to someone in a work setting or someone you don't know very well, because again, you don't want it to come across as rude because it's a joke where you're kind of making fun of someone. So let's say, I don't know, let's say you're making dinner at your friend's house and you say, hey, where's the measuring cup? And they say, oh, it's right to your left. But instead of looking left, you look right. You've obviously mixed up your rights and your lefts, right? So the person might say to you, oh, your other left, as if we have 2 lefts, right? So it's just a joke, but it's definitely something you'll hear. So in this case, your other left, the strongest word is other, because that kind of like, that's the basis of the whole meaning of the expression. So because of that, listen to what's happening to my F-O-R, or Y-O-U-R. So I'm not saying your other left, I'm saying your, just like you could reduce for to fur. That's why I said that. Your other left, your other left. So that is all for today's video, you guys. I do hope that this was helpful in making you feel and sound more natural when you speak in English, and I'll see you next time. Bye.